This is a serious question here. Since January, since this series started, honestly, how much Chick-fil-A has been consumed?
Oh my God.
We've said, I don't remember what state didn't have it. Like, I would never live here.
All right. Busta, Mad Jack, Cole, Mason, you guys know him as BustaJack, and we're really happy to have him here in studio with us today. Guys, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're excited
Welcome
to be here.
New Jersey. Where are you guys? Golfin Old Glory, golfing 50 states, 50 weeks.
Right.
Where are you now in the series?
Oh, boy. We have 2 more states to film.
No way.
2 more.
After today, we'll have one,
Yeah.
which is wild. Like, kind of sad,
Yeah.
It is.
to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
weirdly sad. I'm tired of waking up at 5 a.m. and flying, but I am sad.
Yeah, I was laying in bed last night just thinking, like, dang.
Yeah.
You know, like, thinking of all the states and, like, the courses we've played back in January. Like, it was crazy to think about that.
Yeah.
That we were still doing this, and now it's like, oh, dang, we're done.
Yeah,
Pretty
like,
much.
I feel like we uploaded, it was Sand Valley. Not Sand Valley. Sand Hollow.
Sand Hollow.
Sand Hollow in Utah. I feel like we uploaded that yesterday.
Yeah.
And that was like the 3rd state we uploaded.
Wow.
It's nuts. Sometimes, it feels like it was yesterday, but other times, like, we'll even say this to each other, be like, wait, that was this year?
Yeah.
We did that, like, January feels like 2
Crazy.
years ago
Yeah.
at some point.
It's wild. Like, the golf experience feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, you remember everything about it because you were filming it and then you watched it again or whatever. The whole trip, though, feels like so long ago. Like, I feel like I've done that same trip over and over and over
Yeah.
again. So,
Well, we touched on this a little last time you guys were on, but tell me more about it, because, like, this was really, for both of you, the first time you traveled significantly, right? You know, prior to this, you guys weren't flying all over the world. So, like, was there a little bit of, like, getting used to the travel portion, too?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, we have kind of a running joke on the videos of, like, you ever been to New Hampshire before? Nope.
yeah.
So it was kind of like every time we're in a state that we know we've never been to, we always say it, and it's pretty much the majority of them. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a huge lifestyle change.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, I was, studying
Yeah.
in my room all day, doing school.
2 years ago, I had
Yeah.
a boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it definitely had some, getting used to a little bit, but I mean, there's nothing better than traveling.
Yeah.
I know you guys know it, and it's just the best thing ever for new experiences, and it's worth getting up and
Yeah.
Yeah, no
going on a
doubt.
plane.
Yeah,
Well-
I've never woken up before 5 o'clock
This
this
much
many
in my
this many
life.
times in my life. But, like, shockingly, like, when that alarm goes off, there's been, like, twice, I think, this year where I'm like, ugh, I don't want to get up. But, like, as soon as I'm up, like, I'm so excited because I know I'm playing, like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're,
nuttiest place in the world.
you're not getting up at 5 to sit behind a desk anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you may have lost your boss, but we heard you're getting a new one. So congrats on the engagement.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
So when's that wedding? Any plans or?
No date yet. We're going to look at venues right when I get home. So
That's cool. You know.
Is she happy that the travel is going to slow down at
Yeah, I
least for a
think
little
she
bit?
is, but shout out to her. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, finding out a day before we leave that I'm going to be gone for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's wild on her, but she's done great. I think she's kind of figured out her own groove, like when I'm gone. Like, she does her own thing, which is nice.
That's cool. That's cool.
So, yeah, we'll be married next year, and can't
Yeah.
wait.
That's exciting. So I think for us as viewers, we see you in a different state every week. And I know that you guys are working on a documentary that's going to take us behind the scenes of all that. But I think one big question a lot of people are wondering is, what does that look like logistically? Like, how did you guys go about the process of picking the next state? How did you select the course? And, like, at what point were you arranging? Like, was this something that was predetermined in January that you guys had it mapped out? These are the dates, or was there a little bit less like a looser flow to it? How did it work? You still don't know.
We had
You're in
no
state
plan.
Florida.
Every single state has pretty much been different.
Yeah.
Majority of the time, it's really based on weather.
Yeah.
So how close are you looking?
About a week.
A week.
Yeah.
Sometimes like 3 days.
Yeah.
2
Sometimes
days.
we've literally flown to a state without a tee time and without a hotel. So
We don't ever have a hotel.
yeah, and it's
Right.
just like, let's figure it out.
Yeah. Like we land, play golf, and then figure out the
I
hotel.
think the most we've ever planned out is 2 weeks. I guess besides Hawaii was our last state because you kind of have to. But other than that,
We also knew we were going to Alaska.
yeah,
We knew we were going to Alaska when it was light for like 24 hours. Like
Right.
we
Yeah.
wanted to see that.
Yeah.
So, and that's
Yeah.
like the only time you can go.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
majority of the time, we literally look at the forecast a week in advance and be like, all right, it's 80 degrees and sunny, let's go.
Yeah.
And we get a course, and if we can get a really good private course, great. If not, we'll try to find the best public course in the state.
Yeah.
It
That's-
just depends.
That's what I wanted to ask you because, when you start a project like this, you probably come out of the gate maybe with a thought process of, like, we want the best of the best in that state. No.
Our process was completely different. We
Okay.
thought, we were like, if we can get one elite golf course a month, this series will like, it'll be a win. We got like 3, 4, 5 weeks in, and we posted like some golf courses that weren't, what it was, and the comments were just like, like, why aren't you playing
Right.
said golf course?
Yeah.
And we were like, all right,
Well, I would
Josh, go. Like,
Yeah.
I would imagine too. There's got to be a lot of fans out there that take some pride in their home state, and
Yeah,
they're thinking
absolutely.
like they're waiting for you guys to come to their state, and they're probably chomping at the bit of what you're going to play. So, how much did, as the series evolved, how much did that drive it? Did people start throwing suggestions? Did people help you out, getting you out on the courses? How much did the community come into
Yeah.
play?
Definitely. We always looked at the suggestions and looked them up. And I mean, like you said, every time we posted a video from a state, there was always comments. Oh, you should have played this. You should have
Yeah.
played this. Oh, I'm upset you didn't play this at my home state or something like that. But obviously, you can't please everybody. And sometimes we just can't get on.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's that simple.
yeah,
Well, the hard part too is like, logistically, we're playing golf, and most likely, as soon as we finish that round, we are finding a way. Either we're driving or going to the airport to get to another state. So if it's too far from the airport, like, what was that one in North Dakota? Bully Pulpit.
Oh, yeah.
We wanted to play there so bad, but it was like 3 hours, and then we had to be like in the middle of South Dakota
Yeah.
the next morning, and it just like did not make sense.
right.
Yeah, just the logistics sometimes don't work out, and we get a lot of comments of why we only play 9 holes sometimes, and it's simply just because we don't have time,
Yeah,
or
sure enough.
it's not necessarily the most elite golf course
Yeah.
in that state. So we're like, all right, let's just play 9 and get to another state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just that simple, to be honest. Just we don't have time, or
Right.
it's way too far out of the way, or something like that.
And one that
We gotta catch a
stands
flight or something.
Yeah,
you know?
one that stands out the most that we still get comments on, and it did suck to do it, honestly, was California. So it had been raining for like 3 weeks straight out there. Like it was like that monsoon season
Yeah.
we
Yep,
had earlier
I
in the
remember.
year. And we got the message that Josh and Kyle Allen wanted to play. And we were like, and they were like, we can do it Friday. We were in Scottsdale at the time. We had a tee time Friday, canceled that one, flew to LA. And the only golf course that had a time, I'm talking, we called 20 different places.
So many.
The only one that had a time was the one we played, Strawberry Farms.
Shout out to Strawberry.
Shout out to Strawberry
Yeah.
Farms. Like, so people are like, why'd you play Strawberry Farms? It's like, well, I mean,
Pretty good trade off there.
I would say so.
yeah.
I mean,
And there's
we
so
s-
many to choose from in California that you can't choose one anyway.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked out that we didn't have to choose between the Torrey Pines, the Pebbles, the whatever.
Yeah.
They just couldn't accommodate you. Did you name drop little Josh Allen in there even?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Nothing.
like that was literally a 12-hour turnaround.
Wow.
So that was like, what can we get? What can we get?
Yeah.
We called 10, 15 courses within an hour trying to get a tee time,
Yeah.
and nothing.
Flight took off at 5 a.m. to LA. We landed at, because it's not a long flight, like 6:15.
Mm-hmm.
Hung out. got a bagel, went and played with Josh Allen.
Yep.
Because there's no backup plan at that point, right?
No.
Because,
No.
yeah, if you don't get it, you just go home,
Yeah, I mean,
go home, come back.
and it's
Pretty
like
much.
you don't know when you're going to get with their schedules.
Right.
You don't know when you're going
Right.
to get that opportunity again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
look,
like,
the courses are great, but we say all the time, sometimes it's the people you play with. I
Exactly.
mean, that's what we love about it. And,
Yeah.
and on top of that, too, we got a lot of similar comments even with Myrtle Beach. There's 90 golf courses there. We paid 6. So you're going to have people say,
Yeah.
but we always say it's just an excuse to go back.
yeah.
So now you guys get to revisit it at one point. Do California, do it the way you want to do
Absolutely.
it, you know?
Yeah, we'll do Cali the right way next year for sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I want to ask you guys. Like, what you got Hawaii left, and then you're not going to stop filming, obviously. So, is the year done for you on course, or are you just going to keep doing it, keep going, something different?
Or do you have a break
keep
built
going.
in? Do you have a something?
We have a little break at the beginning of next year. After Hawaii, we'll have like probably a month or two to just kind of chill out. We're gonna have the continent stuff start like March-ish, somewhere around there.
Okay.
So we'll definitely have a big break from the heavy travel, but we'll definitely still be putting out, a bunch of content at the beginning of the year after it's done, a bunch of collabs, a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
What's going on with the continent play? Is there a title name to it? Have you gone down that road yet? Have you thought of how you're going to do it?
Kind of.
And
be
silly
honest.
question: does that mean you have to play the United States? Where are you going to play?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
Right.
That's how we solve our California problem.
there you
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
Exactly.
Don't have a name yet. We have a couple feelers out there. To be honest, we haven't even thought about it.
Gotcha.
Because after this week is when we're like, all right, we can finally breathe a little bit. Because this is like our last travel, really, besides Hawaii, for the States. So we're kind of getting past this week, and they're like, all right, let's hammer down on the continent stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it's
It sounds like such a
fun.
cool thing to plan for, because like as a fan of your content, like I'm sitting here thinking like, are you going to do like a little mini series in each content, or are we going to get one banger course in each continent? Like, what's it going to be?
I just want to know what you're going to do for Antarctica.
Right.
Antarctica they used to have a golf course.
Did they?
So this guy commented, I guess he worked government something, and they have a golf tournament. I looked it up. They have a golf tournament. Can't remember what it's called, but it's on ice, and
like 800-yard
yeah,
holes.
the holes are like 800 to 1400 yards long.
And the ball just skips.
Yeah,
It just
so
goes.
I guess I think because you're in so much gear, like you putt.
Yeah.
Like you can hit like 300 yard, 500 yard putts. So it'd be a great lab video. But
right.
yeah, so like Antarctica is going to happen. We got to figure that out. But this will be way more planned out, thought out.
Yeah.
You're definitely not just getting one course in each continent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Cool.
the closest thing on this was your Alaska trip. So, I mean, not a state that's known for its golf. What was it like? Was that a unique experience getting up there and playing in Alaska?
Yeah, we got kind of unfortunate timing in Alaska. We were there for 4 days, and it rained for 3 of them, and just overcast. You couldn't even see the mountains. So it was just kind of unfortunate that we got that draw, but it was pretty wild to think while you're playing golf, like, how many % of people have played in Alaska?
Yeah.
At midnight.
Midnight.
Because there's literally 20 total courses in Alaska. That's it.
And it's a
And-
huge place.
And we played the best one.
We played the best one.
And it was, I know we probably sounded like snobs,
It was a little rough.
but it was rough. I mean, but like they also had snow on the ground like 18 days before we were there. And that was in,
Wow.
Yeah.
that we went late June. So
Yeah, they were saying that they get 2, maybe 3 months of growing season. That's like warm enough. So, I mean, you can't really knock them too hard whenever you physically can't
Yeah.
grow good grass.
Right. Well, like I said, not exactly known for
Yeah,
its golf.
exactly.
Well, on that idea, were there any states or courses that pleasantly surprised you? Like maybe you hadn't known about it, heard about it going in, and then you got
absolutely.
there and you're like, whoa, this is something.
I mean,
Definitely.
I'd say more than half
Yeah.
because we don't know.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
obviously, you're like New Jersey, like Pine Valley's the one. California, Pebble, whatever. Yeah, I'd say West Virginia was.
West Virginia, Delaware, South Dakota even.
South Dakota.
South Dakota was one of my favorites we've played this year. And
Yep.
it was, I'm not joking you, the most remote place I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
We drove an hour in the middle of fields, and
We
there
s-
was just a random golf course in the middle of it.
We saw one car.
It was crazy.
One car.
So no trouble getting a tee time.
Well,
Not really.
not really. No, I guess we just called, but it's like super private. Like they have
Okay.
they have all like national membership. Because I mean, nobody, you can't.
Yeah, who
live
lives there,
Like
right.
you cannot live there unless you're like farming.
Wow.
Right.
But it was that place was nuts. Sutton Bay.
And you never get to explore these places. It's in and out golf, and you're done.
We've explored one place, and that was Yellowstone.
Yep.
Okay.
We had we played in Wyoming, and then we're going to go up to Montana and play. And we were just like, let's just book an extra day, drive up, take our time, go see the geyser, go see all the stuff in Yellowstone. And that was literally the first time we have stayed in a place and haven't golfed.
Yeah.
And like actually looked at stuff.
Yeah. I think the only other we've had, I added it up the other day. We've had 3 days off, like while traveling
Yeah. Yep.
this year. Yellowstone was planned. We were in Kentucky and Valhalla. Like we had a tee time. They wouldn't let us play, or they wouldn't let us film.
Right.
We still went and played it, but they wouldn't let us film. And then we got rained out in New Hampshire a couple weeks ago, so we had to come back.
Yep.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
We get that all the time though too. Even my wife will say like, "You're doing all this traveling. Like, what did you see? Like, why didn't you stay there? Like, you don't understand. You know, we're moving.
And it's because you're at home.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Like, if I go explore, you're gonna want to explore, so I'll make it back here.
Exactly.
Yeah, my mom always asked me, like yesterday, she literally said, "How was Boston?"
Yeah.
I was like, "It was cool." I was like, "I don't know."
No
I
clue.
went straight
Right.
to the airport and flew to New Jersey. Like, I have no idea.
I can tell you about the golf course and the airport.
Yeah.
That's all I got for
pretty
you.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll probably do something where we rank our favorite airports of
There's
the year.
some good ones out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kansas City,
Kansas City.
shout out, new Kansas City,
Yeah.
Ooh,
incredible.
Nice and small. Is that why?
No, huge.
Oh.
brand new. They're
they
having
built it for the draft.
the draft's coming in.
Ah. Okay.
It literally, they got a new airport for the draft.
That's great.
Well,
That's
I
fun.
mean, speaking of getting in and out of airports, did you ever have any hang-ups or anything like that that caused you to miss a tee time? Caused you to like, or because I imagine all that travel, you've got to have a couple of delays, a couple of things that at least got tight.
Yeah, we definitely have. We've never missed a tee time because of like travel. We've always, the closest one we've come to is Minnesota, when our bags didn't make it and we had to wait like 4 hours for them to get on the next flight that arrives.
Yeah.
And we had to drive an hour and a half up to the course in Minnesota from the airport. It was that
It
far.
was 3 hour draft.
And we literally played in 2 hours and 15 minutes. 18
Filmed
holes
all 18
filming,
holes.
so we could get it in, and we were finishing in the dark.
Yeah.
So that was the closest one, but I mean, there's definitely been some long delays, but we've never missed a tee time actually.
I will say, when you fly out at 5, 6 in the morning, there's no delays that day yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Like, unless weather is crazy, which luckily in Dallas it hasn't been when we fly out. Like, there's no delays that early in the morning.
That is true.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're wheels up and like in a state before noon every time. And then we're playing golf. Like, those are the longest days of the year, especially when we got to get somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just the other day in New Hampshire, like 3 o'clock, we left the house at 3:15, and we got in bed at like 11:30, 12, because we had to drive back to the next state.
do you guys remember every course you played? All 48. Like, if someone quizzed you, like Louisiana, where'd you play?
TBC, Louisiana.
See Louisiana.
So yeah, you won't
Yeah,
forget
we
that.
could-
I would love. I was actually thinking about this the other day, to do like a quiz game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New
To-
Mexico.
Red Hawk.
Red Hawk.
I can't remember where we were yesterday.
Yeah, but like, you know, it's like people probably like, I don't know if people think that's easy or not, but especially him editing it.
Yeah.
I've
Like,
seen it so
You've lived
many
it like a
times.
million
yeah.
times. Yeah.
He lived it. He spent more time editing the course than we did playing it. So, and then like me posting the stuff.
Yep.
Like I know, like when the video's live, we tell them we're live from Red Hawk or wherever
Yep.
it is. So like,
Yep.
it's easy to remember. I'm sure there's some that I would get stumped on. I don't think there is one that you could stump me on.
Well, I think that's the cool part too. And we talk about it for our stuff all the time. Is like we're also creating a record of this great stuff, even if it's just for ourselves. I mean, of course, you know, you're creating this, and a lot of people are enjoying the journey along the way. But I would imagine there's gonna be some time, many years down the line, we'll be able to sit there and be like, "Hey, let's relive that one."
Yeah, no
and
kidding.
it's great to
Absolutely.
be able to do that.
I think
I've
that-
already done it.
Yeah.
I went back and watched a video. I was like, that was a fun
Yeah,
day. Like that was
yeah.
a cool golf course. And
I've watched West
I've watched
Virginia
them.
like
Yeah.
5 times because West Virginia was wild. One of my college teammates, his dad hooked me up with a guy that he knew that was a member out there. I mean, just think about middle of nowhere, West Virginia. And he was like, this golf course is incredible, I promise you. It's like, okay, like, we'll test it out. Go out there, and it's like even better than you thought it would be. And so, like, that's one that you want to relive, but it's kind of something we talked about when we were thinking about doing the series. Last year, we were like, dude, even if it flops, like, we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Still
like,
be fun.
Right.
we did it. So,
To some extent, you got to do some stuff for yourself too.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, we took a risk, like, and this will be talked about in our documentary and stuff too. But I mean, we funded this thing.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we have, you know, partners and we do sponsored videos and stuff like that, and then the ad revenue pays for stuff. But like, this is out of our pocket.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody that's saying like, here's $100,000 to go travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right.
we figure it out. We pay off the stuff as we go, and
Yeah. And, you know, looking back now, 49 after today courses, I bet you could say it's one of the best investments you've made.
Absolutely.
I mean, your
Oh.
growth has been exceptional.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal.
it's-
and
I
it's
mean-
not stopping.
yes, we did do it for ourselves, but like the fan base we've built through this, and like that they're waiting every Sunday
Yeah.
for us to post a new state, like that's what like is the most special about it.
Right.
And like something like you said,
Yeah.
10, 15 years from now, it's like, you know, we built this fan base that like is ready for us to play in another state or another continent, whatever we end up doing. And like that's the fun part, and that's the
Yeah.
part that we care about, is like making people happy.
Yeah.
When they turn on the TV or their phone of us playing golf, which is wild to think about.
Right. It's so true. And I, obviously, like I said, people haven't seen the documentary yet, but they haven't seen all that goes into it. But I think there's a certain degree that people respect it, like how hard you guys are truly working to get this done. And I don't even want to glaze over that. It's so true. Like, you guys fronting the money to do this, like, back of the napkin math, I can only imagine. I'm thinking what it would be like to travel to 50 states in 50 weeks. You guys are living on airplanes. It adds up. So it was definitely a gamble.
Yeah.
And then BustaJack, you're editing as you go. Like, I don't think a lot of people know that and see that. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot to do. Are you? Is it what is just like in the seat on the car?
Yeah.
When are you doing all this?
Yeah, pretty much every time we're driving a few hours to the course, I'm in there passenger seat editing, or
I'm the driver every
on
time.
the plane
Yeah.
I'm editing, or just like every time we're home, I'm doing the next state. So yeah, I mean, sorry, it's definitely a lot of work, but I mean, it is kind of fun to relive them, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Like some super awesome courses that we play, I'm excited to edit that.
Yeah.
And like watch it again.
Yep.
And there's obviously some stuff that doesn't make the cut that can never be released, and that's the fun part about editing.
Yeah.
Like, I know what happened there and you don't.
Yep.
Right.
That type of stuff. And I mean, I love to edit. It's my passion, so if it wasn't my passion, then
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Of course.
Um,
There's no way you could keep up that pace unless you loved what you were doing.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys have seen incredible, explosive growth. I mean, when we got together, Whistling Straits, now it's a little more than a year ago.
Yeah.
You guys were starting out the YouTube. You had just started it maybe 6 months prior. And we just saw you guys take off like a rocket ship. So what would you attribute a lot of that to? Would you attribute that growth to this series that you took on, or is there something else, or did it surprise you?
Yeah, I'd say this series definitely was a great like place to get to allow us to explode. But I think also posting another video every week is what really sent the growth, because we're still doing collabs. We're still doing other courses.
Yeah, people don't understand that at all.
Yeah.
Is that Thursday video you're talking about?
Yeah.
So you're giving them extra. And you've collabed with some great people.
Yeah, and, we're super close with Tig and Grant and Brian Bros. So, I mean, I attribute, videos with them to help us a lot. Just to, have their fan base reach us as well has really helped, because... Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that we would have seen some growth just posting the 50-state stuff.
Right.
But if we didn't post the second video a week, I don't think that it would have been as big at all.
Well, we wouldn't have been able to afford the 50 states either.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, when you look at it from, like, a financial perspective, like, uploading an extra time a week, even if it doesn't do exactly how we want it to do, like, most of the time that video is funding the next trip.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
that's a big deal. And like, we haven't done this alone by any means either. Like, yes, we've booked travel on our own, found golf courses. We've had some help finding golf courses, but there's a lot of people involved in this that are making the calls while we're filming, that are, Josh and Joe are doing that. Jackson, who we work with, it was his idea. Like, it's not just us.
Right.
So, like, we're very appreciative of those people, but they also knew what they were taking on, too. It's like, we have this very small window to either do it and pop off, or, like, do it and say we tried.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think we kind of just took advantage of it and, like, didn't stop. And it's like, it's one of those things you grind now.
Yeah. It reminds me, it's funny when you talk about the team, it reminds me like a little bit like a tour player. Like, we see a tour player on Sunday. What we don't see is the team that's around them. Their fitness guy, their swing coach,
We don't have a fitness guy.
Well, that's the other thing I wanted to ask you. We've had some guys, like we had James Nicholas on the show recently, Corn Ferry guy, and talking about just the struggle of keeping the body going, right? Because the travel, people don't realize how much the travel takes on you. You guys are still young, and stuff like that. I imagine that helps. But there had to be some days it was a little bit tougher to get out of bed and play golf that day.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially, you're sitting in a plane.
Definitely.
It's not conducive to playing good golf. How did that go?
And that is an aspect that a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah.
Is, we're flying, we're traveling, we're driving, and we kind of have to, like, get the energy up, because at the end of the day, we're entertaining.
Yeah.
So it's like we're kind of just literally sitting in the car, not speaking, because we're like saving our energy for the video. But it has been a lot. My body has been taking a beating this year. For sure. And it is very hard sometimes whenever you're running on a few hours of sleep and you have to act like you just got 10 hours and play good and entertain on video. It's very mentally draining.
Yeah.
Well, and people don't understand either, like, oh, I can't believe they played that bad, or whatever. And it's like, dude, you got no idea.
No idea.
Like, we're running on 3 hours of sleep. Our back hurts. I got shoved in the back of the plane because we booked this flight literally 2 days before we took off.
Yep.
It's just like a lot of stuff that goes into it. And the golf is second.
Yeah.
Like, even more so for him, because I know he's editing it and he's like, the camera guru or whatever. So, like, he's making sure everything's right for the video.
Yeah.
And he knows he's got to edit it. And it's like, golf's second at that point. Like, we're trying to make sure we have something to post first.
Right.
Not just play good golf. Obviously, we want to play we're super ultra competitive. Like, we're going to try and play our best every time, no matter how much sleep we've got. But That's an aspect that people don't understand. And, you know, we're on a different type of grass every week.
Yep.
Different, like, and we're not traveling with the tour truck.
Right.
To change our clubs. Like, I've used the same clubs all year on 15 different grasses.
Yeah.
It's like, people don't get that.
And they unless you make golf content, you also don't know the added pressure to play well and stuff like that. And it's not necessarily an ego thing. It's more so you're trying to make an entertaining product. And you know, if I'm playing terrible out there, it's not going to be entertaining. So you also have that mental, you know. But I still think it's funny. Like one story I was telling Mike was, you guys are still playing. You play incredible golf. You play at a different level than we do. And BustaJack, I remember when we were playing Whistling Straits. I think you came with like 3 golf balls. And you're talking about equipment. It reminded me of this. I'm like, meanwhile, we look over me and Mike. It's like that old meme. It's like everybody on par 3's got a 7-iron here. I'm with a 5. I look at my bag like we got like 25 golf balls. Like this is Whistling Straits, right?
Yeah.
So did you ever run into any equipment problems out there? You have a ball like you're living on the edge for me. You're traveling with 3 golf balls.
Nothing really. I mean, we've never really had like a club break or.
No. As long as one of us brought a new box, we knew we were good.
Yeah.
Which, like, that sounds cocky or whatever, but like it was last week.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm out of golf balls. And he's like, I got a box.
Yeah.
And we play the same ball. So he just like tossed me 2 sleeves
Yeah.
and we're good to go.
And you're set.
So it's like,
Jeez.
It made me nervous. Let's put it that way. 3 golf balls.
I mean, I still, also when you're filming, like, if you pump one down the right and your ball's on the left, sometimes you're just like,
right.
leave it. I mean,
we
like,
leave it sometimes.
we're trying to fly, you know?
I know. Listen, if people could judge that
You
too,
got
be like
planes
leaving
to
a golf ball. We've done it before. There's a point you are saving energy.
Yeah.
Because we look at our step counters when we're out there too sometimes, and you don't realize how many extra steps you just to set up that camera.
Absolutely.
When we walked Chambers Bay,
Yeah.
they told us, like, that's going to be one of the toughest walks because it's just up and down.
10 miles?
Yeah, they say it's like 8 to 10 miles,
Yeah.
but like that doesn't factor in the camera
Right.
because like we don't have a cameraman. So I'm walking, like if he hits it down the middle and I hit it way left, we both got to go left, and then we got to go to the middle, and then we go to the green. It's like people like,
Yep.
It's a lot.
Don't realize that you're definitely all over the place.
but it's worth it.
Yeah.
What-
Exactly. You
So
have, like I said, even for yourself, you have a memory forever
Yep.
on camera.
Exactly. One of the side questions I have, and this is a serious question here. Since January, since this series started, honestly, how much Chick-fil-A has been consumed?
Oh my god!
Do you try to find it in every state?
Every time.
You guys had it walking in here. So.
Yeah.
We've said, I don't remember what state didn't have it. Like, I would never live here. I would never live here.
Alaska,
North
Alaska
Dakota, the
didn't have
Dakotas
it.
didn't have it.
I don't think so.
Out there
North
in that
Dakota, we
mid-
ate it.
North Dakota
We
did.
we
South
ate.
Dakota.
Yeah, South Dakota didn't have it. We ate it before we played North Dakota. I could probably tell you every state we. when we went to Minnesota and our clubs got lost, guess where we went to hang out for 4 hours
We
until the
did.
next
Chick-fil-A.
point?
We
We
did.
went and ate Chick-fil-A and sat
We did
in
just sit
Chick-fil-A
there.
for like
waited.
3 hours.
How many times did you order? Was it multiple?
No, just once.
Oh, okay.
Just once. But yeah, no, like
Do you not have it in Texas? Or you
Oh,
do?
we do.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Oh,
I don't know
we
where it
do.
is.
Hey,
He said they wouldn't live there if
Hang
they
on,
didn't
I
have
know.
it.
Wouldn't
So.
live there.
this is
Got
a
2
full
minutes.
this is a full-time job.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We eat it at home all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah. It's good.
For us, it's the coffee.
Yeah.
If we can't find good coffee, that we're running on. That keeps us going.
That's so funny because like when Justin travels with us, like we're like, "Where's Chick-fil-A?" and he's like, "I need coffee."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't drink coffee.
We both don't drink coffee, yeah.
Yeah. He's got kids. We have kids. So when you get there one day,
Yeah, you'll be
I don't
you'll be
know.
on the coffee train
I
soon
don't know if I
enough.
can do it. I can't drink dirt.
So what else is ahead? So we've got today. We're going out. We're going to play Plainfield,
Yeah.
and then you've got one more. It's Hawaii. And
Yep.
is this right away? You guys next week or two? You guys on a plane to Hawaii? What are you thinking?
No, it'll probably be November.
Okay.
We actually have some other travel plans the rest of this month. Going to Bermuda with Brian Bros, Grant, and Tig.
Nice.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Working with the tour on that one, and just kind of taking a little bit of a break this month, just to chill out, get some sleep, and then we'll go back to Hawaii in November, and then we'll be done. pretty crazy.
It is
But I
crazy.
mean, it's not going to stop completely. Obviously,
Yeah.
Right.
we're going to be filming at home when we can, because
Yeah.
luckily in Texas, we'll get 5 or 6 days a month,
Yeah.
no matter what month it is that you can get out there and play. We'll
Yeah.
take a couple other trips to somewhere warm. You know, we love going to Arizona,
Right.
so that's
Scottsdale's
not a
best. Florida.
Florida. That's not a burden on us.
Right,
You
right,
know, like
right.
we
That's-
can't wait to go to Scottsdale.
Yeah.
We love doing that.
love
So
You actually have to get out of Texas in the winter? Is it bad? Like,
Like January, February, it's pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Okay.
It's
but
just
We
windy.
just want
Windy.
to get somewhere it's green.
Yeah.
Right.
Because obviously, like freaking brown course looks
Yeah.
terrible on camera.
Yeah.
So we go to Scottsdale every year, and definitely go to Florida, just to kind of fill some content in before the continent stuff starts.
shop for some houses.
Because it would be ideally we would post the first continent video in January,
Right.
but that's just impossible.
Yeah.
Because we'd have to go next month.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
mean,
right.
Well,
our
I mean,
family and my fiance would kill me.
Yeah.
and that is going to be a different animal traveling globally.
Yeah.
But what have you learned from shooting this series that maybe A, you would have done differently, or B, that you could take away and use that knowledge for your next one?
I really don't know if I'd do anything differently, because thinking back on not ever, like, only getting rained out once, like, that's the biggest part of this whole thing is the weather.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
you really can't do that any differently. The only thing I would do different, and if I could, like, snap my fingers, is, like, play the elite of the elite
Right.
every time if it were possible, but it's just not.
Yeah.
But next year, like, yeah, I've said I think it'll be easier.
Yeah.
Did you even think about countries? You just skipped right over countries to continent. Just skipped right over it.
Because while we're in the continents, we'll play in different
Yeah.
countries.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that about the elite of the elite. Like a lot of people too don't know the challenge that comes with that. Like what it takes to
Definitely.
film those courses. I mean, we see it.
you two went through it.
Yeah.
Like
Y'all are
it's
really
funny
up there.
as we hear you guys saying it,
Yeah.
we're such the opposite in that we have stuff planned out. Like we're playing courses now that we planned 8 months ago
Yeah.
because we're going through board approvals and stuff like that. And it's funny because we see it, and I'm sure you guys get the DMs too. Like a lot of members would be like, "Come play my course," and that's great, but it doesn't mean you can film it.
Definitely.
So the members, and we don't want to get any members in trouble and things like
Yep.
that. So there's a certain aspect of that too that people don't realize, that it's very difficult to
Yeah,
get that approval to
absolutely.
get out there and film.
Yeah, sometimes we don't even tell them, to be honest.
Yeah.
We just go out there
Yeah.
and film, just because, I mean, it's literally us two, and we just pass the camera off to each other, so it's not like we need 2 carts, extra carts for videography crew, and,
Right.
we're slowing up the pace or anything.
Has anyone reached out and said, pull the video or no?
No.
No.
Never.
Well,
What I would be more nervous of is somebody stopping you halfway through
Yeah.
and stopping you, because you
But I
know
think
you
that
guys
would-
are running by the seat of your
Oh,
pants.
well,
You don't
and
have
that's
time for
kinda
that.
I think
Like-
that would make a good video, though. If
Yeah.
it would.
Yeah.
if it was more than one hole,
at least
maybe.
short form. At least short form, it would make a great
Yeah.
video. But that's kind of like another thing we think about is like when we tee it up in this state, whatever it is, like we have to get this video because it was $250 for the hotel room.
Yep.
It's $100 for the car that day. We spent X amount of dollars on the flight.
Yep.
We've bought 3 meals out here.
Caddies
Like,
if you had them.
Yeah.
All that
like all that stuff. Like, I mean, that's a hit if you can't film. Like the day we were in Kentucky, I just remember sitting there. We were like,
Yep.
dude, we paid for this hotel room, we got the car, and we're doing nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, yeah,
That's
I
a
mean,
tough one when
That's
you're
rough.
funding it yourself. That's for sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, we like with our thing too is like, because we're doing it in our home state, our series, we can't even afford that possibility. Just pull the camera out and just see what happens. Everybody, golf is a small world. You
Yeah,
learn
it
that
is.
quick. Everybody
It
knows
is.
everybody.
Yeah.
You
Well,
make one course mad, and then all of a sudden
Yeah,
the phone call starts ringing, and you
definitely.
can't go in anywhere.
Definitely, and obviously we don't want it to be that way. We'd love to, have a good relationship with every golf course that we play at, but especially doing it this quick turnaround, we don't have time to get approval of 50 golf courses. So, like, especially if it's a public course, pretty much every private course will obviously have to reach out to them in some sort of way, but if we're just playing a public track, then
Yeah, you book your tee time and go.
Like,
It's
yeah,
not
we
worth trying to
No.
the trouble of that.
we don't ask for comps or anything.
Yeah.
It's like we pay the tee time, and
We just
now if they comp it, great. But a lot of the time we're just gonna pay for it so we don't have to deal with this, because I'm sure y'all know when it's comped or whatever, you gotta shout this person out,
Yeah.
that person
Yeah.
out. You gotta put that link in the video, and like that's not hard to do.
Yeah.
But it's something else to think about.
Yes.
It's funny.
It's another thing to do,
It
right?
is. We played Bully Rock in Maryland. I know that was your Maryland course.
Yeah.
And we called them. We call every course for permission. I'm like, we do the opposite. And we're like, BustaJack boys were there. And they were like, oh, they were. We didn't even know that. I go, yeah, the video's out there. Go watch it. It's great.
You want to talk? That one
I'm glad you guys recommended that. That was
It was a great golf
Great.
course.
Yeah.
That one was on the back end of like a 4 or 5 day trip.
Oh yeah. That one was rough.
An absolute mess of a trip.
It was rough.
We booked it. I mean, I'm talking 10 hours before we teed it up.
Yeah.
So
wow. What'd you do, like the whole Washington, D.C. little
yeah,
swing
we
there? Was that the West Virginia trip too? Oh,
Virginia,
Yeah.
D.C.
we did Tennessee that week.
Oh, let me guess. West Virginia, was it the Pete Dye course?
The die course,
Pete Dye
yeah.
Golf Club.
And that's the guy at Bully Rock, so that's his favorite Pete
Really?
Dye
Yeah.
in the world.
That is the only.
I've heard that multiple times.
That is the only golf club with Pete Dye's name on it. So there's
like a
Dye
Dye course,
courses.
yeah.
Yes.
so,
Right.
like, but that is the only club that he would allow his name to be put on, because that's like, they said it's like one of his favorite pieces of work.
Interesting.
It's
really good.
unbelievable how good that place is.
Yeah.
And how awesome they were.
Yeah, they're really
If anybody out there is watching this, like, a member set us up, but the staff out there was
they're
like,
so welcoming.
yeah, like, I'm talking red carpet type stuff. And like, their social team still post clips from our video
Yeah.
out there. Like, I think we could go back whenever we want.
Yeah.
So like, that
That's
place
great.
is
Yeah.
top tier.
That's the best when you get that experience,
Absolutely.
and I love anything in golf that is welcoming, because I think golf gets too much, and it has in the past, of getting that, just that stigma being thought of as an unwelcoming sport.
Yeah, it's like
And I think-
stuffy.
yeah.
Definitely.
And I think like things like your guys' series helps bring that to life and show how it doesn't have to be that way. All right, so we'll get you right back to our interview with the boys from BustaJack in just a second, but we want to thank this week's sponsor, Titleist. And guys, to be your best today, you have to outperform the player you were yesterday. And for some, it might be breaking 80. For others, it might be breaking the course record. And for all of us, it's playing a golf ball that we know will help us truly get the most out of our game. The Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X offer advanced technology and performance that rewards your best swings and help you shoot lower scores, Mike. That's what we all want to do. And both models are exceptionally long. They deliver that consistent flight and feature unrivaled control. The Pro V1, it's the best combination of distance, spin, and feel in the game, and it delivers a penetrating flight. Then the Pro V1X, it flies higher, spins a bit more in the short game, but it still gives you that low spin on long shots to maximize distance. So you can find out more about the Pro V1 and Pro V1X, including which is best for your game, by visiting Titleist.com.
All right. Unfortunately, the cold is coming. Stinks. But you could conquer it with Thermo Series from FootJoy. They have the most advanced apparel layering system in golf. Thermo Series offers a range of distinct layering pieces for different conditions designed to be worn together. We played a bucket list course this week, in fact, the Catanza Club. And let me tell you something. It was cold at one point and hot at another point.
By that sea, it was windy, and then you got inland, and we're
I was
delayering.
like almost close to shivering when the round was almost done. So the weather changes and you got to be prepared for it. Thermo Series allows you to effortlessly adapt to weather conditions, throughout the day. And this is technically advanced gear, keeping you warm and comfortable, allowing a full range of motion. Even while all bundled up, you're still able to get through the ball. It doesn't constrain you at all. You got to check it out and experience it for yourself. Go to FootJoy.com and check out the whole Thermo Series lineup. As the day evolves, you can evolve with it.
Hey, and look, it's no secret everyone's trying to pick up more club head speed. Distance has never been more paramount in the game of golf, which is why we've teamed up with the best speed training aid on the market, Ripstick. Ripstick truly is golf's ultimate training aid. You've got 8 different weight combinations. It's all in one stick. It's super easy. I love keeping it in my golf bag, Mike. And really, you wonder, like, why does that matter? Well, it allows you to conveniently switch between underload and overload training, which is really just a fancy term for less weight and more weight. But what I love is it's so incredibly easy. And even to make that speed training even easier, Ripstick created this free app. It's available for Android and iOS. You and I have been using it extensively.
It's so easy.
And what I love, again, the app, it's step by step. You guys don't have to worry about understanding or knowing speed training. Just put yourselves in the hands of this app. It's going to walk you through it. And like we talked about, that weight adjustability, it'll even tell you when it's time to adjust weights. And that mentioning that, we've recently just started our Ripstick training, and I'm just shocked at how little time it takes. I mean, you can get through an entire workout exercise in 15 minutes. It's 3 times a week, 15 minutes a day. I mean, I think we can all find that much time in a week. And even better, right now, with every purchase, Dr. Luc Benoit, he's the founder of the company. He's providing a free swing analysis for everyone who purchases, and that's a $90 value right here, right there. So the idea behind this is really not only to help you hit it further, hit it straighter, and guys, now you can use code GOLFICITY, GOLFICITY. You're going to get 20% off your order site-wide, making it super affordable, and you're going to start hitting bombs, start reaching those par 5s and 2 again. You're definitely going to want to check this one out. All right, now let's get back to our interview with the boys from BustaJack. So now, after this, we're going to go out and play Plainfield here in Jersey. Yeah. The particular difficulty with Jersey is that at minimum top 25, I don't know how far down the list it goes, but if you were ranking, Golf Digest ranking the courses here, they're all private, which is something that it's good and it's bad. You know, I've always thought, like when we went to Scotland, I thought it was incredible that almost everything is public. Yeah. And I would love for people to be able to experience these courses more. And that's why we did our series, to bring people in and show how special the places are. The only thing that I don't love about it is that we're showing you how special, but you can't play it unless you know somebody. And I don't love that. But in the same token, these courses, we've learned that they take a lot of pride in what they do. And they have a right. I mean, it's America. You want to be private, be private.
Well,
you
and
know?
I mean, would your experience have been the same if it was public?
It's a great question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Because I don't think that these courses would be able to maintain the way that they maintain.
Right. Well,
the amount of money it takes to do what they do at some of these courses, I don't know if you could do that public.
Well, it's also kind of just going back to the access part. A bunch of the private courses don't need exposure.
Right.
Yeah.
Or want
They
it.
don't care.
They don't want it.
Right.
So that's also another huge aspect of why it's so hard to get on a lot of courses.
Yeah.
Because they don't care. Like,
Well,
we don't need another member. We're full, you know?
We changed the entire name of our series because a course didn't want a certain exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They don't need it.
But everybody knows what they're doing.
Right.
But
they don't need the exposure. And it's like, when you do get that welcoming feel
It's great.
at a private club, it's like, hey, y'all got this figured out. Because like this is the direction that the game's going.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether they like it or not.
Yep.
I mean, it is going to be an inclusive game that everybody's trying to play at least.
Totally agree.
Now, and in that sense, I do like the exclusivity part of it, because there's some people that don't appreciate what they got.
Yeah.
What they're playing on. Something.
That's what we saw constantly, was that the people who did bring us in, you could see the pride they took in their club and what they, and we uncovered a lot of stories, like guys who, you know, they would volunteer to be the club historian, and we went into countless vaults and we went and dug up some of the records, or one guy who was just the club's gardener, just for fun, you know, he would grow stuff for like the club, and you just see that pride, and that's what's so incredible to me.
The pride moved, like the Somerset video, I think you guys might have caught a glimpse of that. That's one of the most private courses here in the state. Never let anyone in with cameras. They let us in. Our mutual friend Justin filmed it, edited it. I'm watching it at least for the 20th time yesterday, and I got tears in my eyes from this moment in there. The guy's talking about a hole-in-one. His father passed away, and it's so moving. My wife called me during it on FaceTime, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, I'm crying over my own content." It's incredible. It's just, it's moving, and like the stories we got in this
becomes more than the sport to people, and I love that aspect of it.
Exactly.
Well, without golf, none of this happens, obviously. But like, bottom line, like, we love playing golf.
Yeah.
And like, we love playing together too.
Yep.
I mean, we've done it for over half of our lives. So like,
That's cool.
I mean, going out there and him beating me or me beating him. It's like we've been doing that for 13 years.
Yeah.
You know, like it's what we do. So like I love golf.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm addicted. My fiance is like, "How are you so addicted?" And I'm like, "You'll get it. Like if once you hit that 1 yard draw, like, you'll get it.
You'll get it.
It's so funny how many people like around us, like cameramen, editors, who've all worked with us, never play golf, and now all of them. I'm in a Thursday night league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just you be around it, and you just get absorbed, and you're like, I gotta try it, and then you try it, and be like, I gotta keep doing this.
Well, we've noticed too, like, you know, the same people in high school when I'd be, because I love sports just in general, but when I'd be talking football, basketball, whatever, baseball, at lunch, they're like, shut up, you play golf. It's the same people. Hey, you got an opening for a tee time? You want to go play golf? Because, like, everybody's in it now.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is the sport that people graduate to, like past athletes. You see it everywhere. They graduate to golf, and it's like, hey, we've been doing this.
Right.
'Cause you can play it till you're 85. Like,
Yeah.
you can just whack it 100 yards
Yep.
and still have fun. You know?
Exactly. And I'm definitely dating myself by saying this, but when I was back then, high school, we're talking 25 plus years ago, I wasn't about to be screaming it from the rooftops that I was on the golf team.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's put it that way.
Oh, dude.
You
know what I
were
mean?
You were the weirdo.
Yeah, it's
playing
like,
golf. You know?
what? And now all of them
Not
are like,
anymore.
can you get me a tea time?
Yeah.
Like, they're all playing now.
You played with Josh Allen?
Yeah, exactly. I would
Yeah.
imagine you got a bunch of DMs from friends when that happened.
But you know,
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
real quick on Plainfield though, like the first Plainfield ranks 5th in the state. It always does. It's one of the best. It's always going to be one of the best. And the 4 that are before it are so private. I mean, they're all really private. I mean, don't get me wrong. But I love this one for your series because I believe I might have even mentioned this to Josh that you had the Revolutionary War was fought. A battle was fought right on
Battle
the
of
site.
Short Hills.
Battle of
was fought
Short
there.
Hills.
So you're going to come in, you're going to see the first thing you see is a cannon.
Like you can't get
Yeah.
more Golfin Old Glory than where we're going
Really?
to be today.
Yeah.
Like of
No
course you
way.
got Liberty
That's
National.
cool.
You could see the like Lady Liberty, but like we're going to be playing on the grounds.
That's sick.
Revolution, and the plaque is there. You'll read the story.
Yeah.
You'll see the cannon.
That'd be great.
It's
I'm
pretty
excited
cool.
for you guys to take this one because not only, Mike said, it's ranked high in the state. I mean, 5 is a big number
In
for this
Jersey?
state because you're only talking about ahead of it.
Absolutely.
Baltusrol, Somerset, and Pine Valley.
Baltustrol's 2 courses,
Both their courses.
2 and 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it goes Pine, it goes Baltusrol lower, Somerset, Baltusrol upper, and then you've got Plainfield. But Plainfield out of that whole bunch is the only one that's hosted PGA Tour events.
Baltusrol has.
Oh, that's right. The U.S. Open and stuff
Correct.
like that. But I remember one of the first events we attended as media was the Barclays 2015.
2015 at Plainfield.
Yeah.
No one knew who Justin Thomas was yet.
He just was coming out. I remember we were on
This is a great story,
we were
right?
standing on the putting surface, and I see this kid at the
Yeah.
time messing with Ricky Fowler's bag. He's taking all his clubs out and putting them in upside down.
Yeah.
And he looks at me. He's like, "Shh." He's like, "Don't say anything."
Don't
Like,
say anything. We're
I'm
like, who is this guy?
Who is this guy? What you don't know is it's Justin Thomas.
That's crazy.
You know,
That's so
and then Ricky comes over. And he knew exactly who it was as soon as he saw
crazy.
it. But this course, it's special. It's
Jason Day won on it. Dustin Johnson won on it.
it's a Donald Ross design. You're gonna know it as soon as you get on the greens. You're gonna see it.
Every green
We'll
is
take
false.
you inside if we have some time. They've got a Donald Ross room that's really cool. All the Ross stuff is up there. But yeah, multiple PGA Tour events. Unfortunately, when they condensed the schedule for the FedEx Cup, we lost one event. They cut it down by one event, and that was the Northeast event. That was Plainfield was in that rotation, so it's hosted a few. I'm sure it'll be back, but it's a course that I really think you guys are going to enjoy.
So
for
what would
Jersey.
you say your favorite one in New Jersey you've played so far?
Okay, that's the big question. That's a tough one. Now we haven't played Pine yet.
Yeah.
It's on the
Obviously,
schedule.
that will be.
Yeah.
That'll be number 1.
I would think
forever
so.
of any course.
Speaking of which, by the way, they talk about hospitality. Pine, and I'm just speaking from what I've heard so far, is when you are coming to play as a guest, they do their full research. They know everything
about
you.
you.
When you get there, you know
That's crazy.
they are ready for you and they take care of you really well. But I really loved Hollywood,
Yeah.
which is down by the Jersey Shore. It was an incredible course. Somerset, I got chills thinking about because of the history that was there. But one that shocked me, I knew nothing about it, was Essex County Country Club.
Yeah.
Next
you
Monday's
have
episode, yeah.
Yeah, and you have multiple great architects have touched that place. And for me, I'm like a bit of a history buff. So like when we went there and the historian took us into the vault, like the full vault, and he like unlocked this thing, we go in and he's starting to show us record books where like Thomas Edison was a member here.
That's nuts.
And we're going back and we're seeing the originals. That to me is what lit me up. I mean, it was even more than playing the course, was just going through and seeing that.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty cool.
we've seen the same thing. You know, sometimes it's an experience over the property itself, or something that surprised you
Yeah.
Definitely.
makes you think more fondly of that
Just
place
remember
than
it.
something else. Yeah,
Exactly.
Like, I mean, there's a couple, and Mad Jack's even said it. Like, West Virginia has stayed his top-ranked course solely because they had a coal mine that you drove through
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get to the
That's
next
something
tee.
I'll never forget.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
when are you ever going to see that on a golf course?
Right.
You know, you literally drive through it.
It wasn't like
It
a
was-
replica. Like, it was an
It was
active.
actually an active
That's cool.
coal mine.
Are you guys still rating bridges?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have a
Every
favorite?
time.
Was there one that was just
Alabama.
like, whoa?
Yeah.
Alabama.
Mobile,
Magnolia
Alabama.
Grove.
Magnolia
They
Grove.
do their bridges right down there.
Oh, my
It was
gosh.
unbelievable.
Oh, my
I think I
gosh.
gave it like a 9.8 or 9.7.
Yeah,
Wow.
I gave it like a 9.9, I
It's a
think.
strong rating.
It was
bridge.
insane.
I said in that video, I said the only bridge that can beat it is a Swilken Bridge
Mm-hmm.
or 12 at Augusta.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
It's that good.
Well, I hope to see you guys on the Swilken Bridge soon. You guys got to get out there and play it.
We'll be there.
We'll be there eventually.
We'll be there next year.
Do the full deal, stay there the night before to get a tee time, or
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe
I think
about
we're
that.
going to stay on the road hole.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll
I think
see.
we're going to stay in that hotel. So
We shall see.
It's an experience. Recently, Tiger said it was his favorite course.
I saw that
Mm.
on the
You saw that
range.
clip?
And he said
Yeah.
you could like play it backwards.
Yes, once a year. I love how he says though, like it's been my bucket list to do that. Like Tiger can't make a call.
Yeah.
You know,
Like,
go
yeah,
just
like,
go do it. you
Tiger,
know?
dude, just
Yeah.
figure out what day they're playing
Yeah.
it backwards on
Right.
and
Yeah.
go.
Just
you
go.
you have a plane.
Exactly. But that's it's such a cool experience out there, and there too you see like it's a course that's owned by the town. You know, here's one of the oldest course, one of the best courses in the world, and it's like it's not private. Anyone can play there. And what I thought was crazy is that on Sundays it's closed. It's a park.
Yep.
You know, you can go and sit on any hole, just put down like a blanket and sit and have a lunch. It's a
We did
park.
that, right? When we first got there, we just walked up 18.
We just got out of the car first thing we did.
evening
That's
before dinner.
awesome.
We
Just
walked
ran
up.
out
It was
there
a Sunday.
and just walking. We couldn't believe we were walking around on it.
I'd do that for sure too.
Because you think the best course is here. There's a lot of things between you and
You
walking out
can't
on that
even
golf
get
course.
off. You can't even get from the road to the like clubhouse at some of these places.
Right.
Like the gate.
Right.
Literally the gate.
Yeah.
But
It's cool.
yeah, I mean, we've played some of the nuttiest places in the world this year. So it's
Yeah,
been
that's
pretty
cool.
It's been a heck of a year. Well, listen, we're excited to see as the series wraps up and continues, and then what you guys take on next. It's been, like I said, really great for us just to even watch it from the outside, the explosive growth, the incredible things you guys have done, and the fact that you've accomplished it. Because, I mean, you say it at first, and it's like, wow, let's see if these guys can really pull that off. 50 states, 50 weeks.
Yeah.
Because it's, as you said earlier, it's not just playing golf. It's all the other stuff that goes with it. And churning out a video every week and bringing the audience along with it. So it's incredible. But, yeah, I think we wrap this thing up. Let's get a little lunch and head over
I
to
want to get them some
Plainfield.
Jersey pizza. Have you ever experienced it in your life?
We got something for you.
Let's do some pizza.
We're gonna hook you up.
Let's do it.
Some real
Something
deal
a little
Jersey.
different, too.
Well,
Yeah.
we thank y'all for having us on the
Yeah.
show, and what y'all did through New Jersey
Absolutely.
was incredible. So make sure you go watch that if you haven't already, because what y'all took on, some could say is harder than what we
Oh,
took.
definitely.
Because you had to jump through hoops.
Lot of
We
them.
just had to figure it out.
Well,
Definitely some different challenges. Not as many courses as you guys did, but yeah, it was a lot of begging and
Yeah.
pleading.
The
Yeah.
caliber is unreal.
Yeah, and you probably haven't experienced it. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but a lot of these courses, they want to see that video before it goes out even.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
We just
So there's hurdle after hurdle.
This guy, I mean, shout out to him for editing throughout this entire year. It's nuts, but I mean, it gets finished on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And it's uploaded Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Will you give up the reins eventually when you have to?
Yeah, I'll definitely get some help next year because
Yeah.
I don't think that would even be possible.
Yeah.
So definitely get some help next
Yeah.
year.
I want him to enjoy what I've enjoyed
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
last year.
Right.
And I'm super grateful that he knows how to edit. I tell people all the time, I wish I had that talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, because it's an incredible talent.
Not for everyone.
to have.
Yeah.
I wish I had it. I don't, because I'd love to help him. We'd be able to pump out 3 videos a week if I could do it. But I want him to, like, you know, play golf.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it has its own separate enjoyment.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's a certain degree of giving up those reins is hard.
It
I
is.
know even like when I did it with our encore stuff, stop editing some of it was hard to do.
was.
But you still save some for yourself because it is a certain way that you relive it. But no matter what, you see it, it
Definitely.
becomes a capacity thing at one point. You just can't get the
Yeah.
videos out and be able to do it. So
Yep.
Definitely.
yeah. All right, but boys, listen, let's go get ready to play. Again, thanks
Yeah.
for coming on. Appreciate you guys coming up here and stopping by while you're here in Jersey. I know you guys are always on the move. This is a lot of fun, and we'll catch up again when you guys start bouncing around the globe. That's for
Definitely.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
Come on.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you.